Maybe.
Here's my notes.
You better end
I
it
have
now.
3 note cards because I had specific facts.
Okay.
Toby.
Yeah, so listen.
September of 1996, I had to call my supervisor late in the evening because my father had been involved in a head-on collision with a drunk driver. 3 men were involved in that accident. 1 man walked away with no injuries. 1 man limped away with disabilities for the rest of his life, and 1 man lost his life. Today I want to talk to you about choices. We all have the choice whether to drink and drive. We all have the choice whether to drive sober. But we also have another choice. We have the other choice of giving blood and helping to save lives. You may ask, why donate blood? What can I do? The demand for blood is great. According to the American Red Cross, which supplies over 40% of hospitals with blood, every 3 seconds, someone in the United States needs a blood transfusion. In the time it takes to deliver this speech, approximately 300 people will need to receive blood in order to survive. Every day in the United States, 38,000 people need blood transfusions. And it may seem like a really high number, and how could you use that much blood? But for 1 car accident victim, they can need anywhere up to 100 units of blood. How can 1 person make a difference? Science cannot create blood. They cannot make blood. It is not something that there's a substitute for. In order to have blood to donate, in order to have blood to receive, people have to donate it. There's no other way to get it. 38% of the population is eligible to donate blood. Out of that 38%, only 8% actually donate. 3 out of every 100 people actually donate blood, which is a very small percentage for the number of uses that we need. Every 1 unit of blood given saves 3 lives. If you start at the age of 17 and you donate every 56 days, which is the minimum amount of time you have to wait between blood donations, and you donate from ages 17 to 76, your donation alone will save over 1,000 lives in your lifetime. The donation process goes through 4 steps. There is the registration, where you fill out paperwork. There's a mini physical where they take your temperature, your blood pressure, and check to make sure that your hemoglobin's high enough. Then there's the actual donation and the refreshments. Every time the blood is drawn, they use a sterile needle, and they use equipment that is used 1 time and then thrown away. So there's never a chance of exposure to someone else's blood through the equipment, which is a common fear. After the blood is drawn, it has to go through a process of testing to make sure that the blood has no diseases and that it is good blood to donate to other people. Even in the event of a catastrophe, such as Hurricane Katrina, war, or any of the other things that have happened recently, blood cannot just be taken from person to person immediately, like you see on the movie. Blood has to go through testing procedures, and that's why it is so important for people to donate blood before there's a catastrophe or before there's an emergency, because you just can't use it right off the person. It has to go through the testing. The entire process takes approximately 1 hour. The American Red Cross holds over 200,000 blood drives a year. They have them at churches, they have them at schools, they have them at community events, and a lot of companies have started having them on their premises also. Even if you are not one of that 38% that's eligible to donate blood, it is possible for you to help and to volunteer. You can do registration, you can hand out snacks, and there's hundreds of other jobs the Red Cross can use volunteers for in order to provide the service. If you wonder about the crash that I talked about at the beginning of the speech, my father did live. He walked away. He is disabled for the rest of his life, and he has had over 10 surgeries in the last 15 years because of this accident. However, if someone had not taken the time to donate blood, my father would not be alive. He would not have been able to survive the accident because of his injuries. It seems like in our busy world it takes so much time to do everything, and time is not something we have a luxury of having. We don't have a 5-minute break, let alone an hour to donate blood. But because someone was willing to take that hour to donate blood, my father is still alive. And when you talk about choices, the young man that chose to drive drunk took a life, and he disabled my father. But there were 5 people willing to make the choice to donate blood, which saved my father's life. And for that, I am grateful.